This reading is from the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle Cards deck. And I'm just going to do a general card reading for what message do the Mermaids and Dolphins want me to know today. Something based on what can kind of like help us, give us more comfort and support in our life right now. So a little kind of almost like a motherly hug. This reading is intended to give you some comfort and support on what might be a challenging day or during a challenging time. So if you found this reading and you're listening to it now, then please trust that that was the message that you're meant to receive today. And even if you think that right now you don't actually need any extra support or comfort, that things are going quite well in your life, perhaps when you watch this and when I draw the card and when I read it, perhaps you'll realize that actually that was exactly the message that you needed to hear, and you weren't aware of the fact that you needed it until it was presented to you. You know, sometimes we can think we're totally fine and we're moving in the right direction at the right speed, and it's only when someone presents us with an alternative or a different option or a little window into a slightly different world, slightly different future, that we go, oh right, yeah, I kind of did need to hear that actually, or oh, that was exactly the thing that I needed to hear in order to give me that extra little push, that extra little bit of a motivation, or to get me over that block, around that hurdle, or just to kind of like tweak my direction slightly so that it felt more on path. So we'll see what card comes up, and hopefully it will resonate with you and it will be exactly what you need to hear right now in this moment. So I'm shuffling these cards, clearing the deck. Putting the half that fell out back in again. I'm not looking for half a deck's worth of a reading, we're looking for one card. So So we have two cards here. The first one is synchronicity. This card has a picture of two dolphins, and they are swimming around on top of a giant crystal. And they're also in between a channel of light. And the card says, your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order and increase their flow. So I think this card is, this card is definitely useful to everybody. I think this is a message that will resonate with everybody watching this. It's a really positive message. It's an encouraging message. It comforts me hearing this message. So yeah, just know, like, wherever you are in life right now, whatever's happening, whatever you're doing, the questions that you're putting out there to the universe and to whoever else you might be presenting them to, the prayers that you are praying, they are being heard and they are being answered. They are being heard and they will be answered in accordance with divine timing. So even if you feel like you're asking questions and you're praying and no one's listening and nothing's changing, and maybe you've been doing this for a while now, and you feel really lonely and frustrated by the fact that no one's listening and no one's answering and nothing's changing, it's just have faith and believe that they are listening and that they will answer, and that perhaps they already have answered, you just can't quite see it yet on the material plane, but it is happening all around you. And perhaps it is happening in ways that feel like chaos, that feel like drama and destruction and loss, and uncomfortable emotions. Perhaps all of these things that are happening around you that you don't want, that you haven't chosen, are actually part of the answer to the prayer that you prayed. Because it's like when we ask for something, we don't always get the answer and the help in the way that we would have chosen and the way that we anticipated. Sometimes that help is a little bit like tough love. Well, a lot of times when it comes to the universe, the answer is a little bit like tough love, because yanking the carpet out from underneath our feet is oftentimes the only way to get us moving, because we are stubborn creatures and we are creatures of comfort, and we don't like to give up our routine, even if our routine is no longer in our best interests. And so sometimes the only way to get us to move is to push us. So yeah, basically be aware of what's happening around you. If it's something that you like, lean into it and go with it and say yes to it. And by doing that, you will encourage more of these events to happen in your life. And so yeah, the more aware you can be, the more encouragement you can give to the help that you're being given, and then the more that it can expand and grow. And if the help is a little bit like tough love, try to be open to it and accepting of it, because it's come from a loving place. It's come from a place that is trying to help push us to the next level, to where we are supposed to go. We came here, we opted into this life because we wanted to learn new things. We didn't want to just do the same thing over and over and over again. We wanted to push ourselves to learn new things so that we can evolve. And if we can accept that, then it makes it easier for us to accept the things that happen to us that we haven't chosen, and to realize that even the hardships, the hard messages, they're all part and parcel of why we're here, and they are gifts that are being given to us. Because if we can lean into them instead of away from them, if we can embrace them and accept them, surrender to them, then we can see the beauty within them, and we can unpack it, and we can really, really grow it and make the most of it. Sometimes the worst things that happen become the best things that have happened. And if we can try and remember that on the journey, instead of when we come through the other side of it, then the journey will be more pleasant, and it will be more fulfilling and rewarding, and a lot less fraught. The second card that came up for a little bit of further guidance for how I can embrace synchronicity more in my life is explore your options. And in this card, we see a beautiful little mergirl diving down into the water towards a tortoise, a sea turtle, and she looks totally confident, and she looks really determined. She looks like she knows exactly where she's going and what she's doing. She has all of these pearls kind of like floating in her hair, which are about wisdom and knowledge. And she is reaching down towards this turtle because she would like to make contact with him. She would like to be friends with him. She would like to challenge herself by getting to know this new creature with its view of the world, its wisdom, its story. And the message on the card says it's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. So this one is saying lean into synchronistic events. So things that are cropping up into your life, new opportunities, lean into them and embrace them and say yes to them. And this one is saying explore these options. So the things that are being presented to you, explore them. They're options, they're different choices. It's time to make a choice, to take a different direction in life, to shift things up. Maybe that choice is hard. Maybe it's a difficult choice. Maybe it means you have to quit your job and change careers, try and get a new job in a new direction, or go back to school and study. Maybe it means leaving a relationship that you're comfortable in but no longer happy in. Maybe it means shifting friends, and creating a new group of people that you have more in common with these days. Perhaps you've outgrown your friendship group. Perhaps you've known them for a long time, and you no longer have similar interests, so you need to build a new tribe. Perhaps it's time to move house, to move out of the city into the country, or vice versa. So whatever it is that you kind of like, that you feel in your gut and in your heart